What's up, everyone? This is Skylar from Audeka, and I'm going to be breaking down Spoon Melter, the first track that I released on Audeka since the relaunch. So to start off with the block flute. So that's this guy right here, and I don't really know how to play it too well, so it took me a while to get what I wanted for this little part, but it's this file down here. You can hear it in the intro. And so, if we listen to the original, I can just throw this in the audio editor real quick. You can hear it's pretty, not that great all the time. This is quite like random playing it. So yeah, it's but when you're able to just sit here and edit it, it kind of worked out. I put it through, I think a ring mod. Let me double check this. Yeah, it's a ring mod. Just on the mids here, this is multipass, and automated that mix of ring mod as it's going through. So you can see that automation right here. Basically, the mix of the ring mod is coming down, so you hear more of the raw flute, like as it gets closer to the drop. So there you kind of hear that ring mod in there. And it's more pure there. And then this is just a small little loop. It kind of has this, yeah, there's an orchestral vibe where it's a build-up. I think that's also going through, yeah, it's also going through the ring mod. Then you see these guys, these are the demon banjos. Basically, I just took my banjo and, I can go grab that, actually. Here, I got it. This guy. Yes. And I just detuned the crap out of it. Like, I just loosened these almost all the way. Now it's actually kind of in tune. But I had detuned it quite heavily. And it's pretty cool what you can get out of it. I was also playing these strings up here, so you get some pretty dope harmonics from playing these strings. And when everything's super loose, they're also quite loose here, so it becomes almost a different instrument when everything's like entirely loosened, and extremely like vocally. Okay, so main elements here, banjo's coming in again, and this is what I mean, like, so it's got like this vocally quality that I really liked. So I made a bunch of these recordings in my super organized library. So anyway, that's how I went about like recording the banjo, the flute, just putting down different stuff. And yeah, when you combine this guy, it basically creates like a joint signal. It sounds a bit like this kind of creature that I was imagining. Yeah, these guys, they're also from the Micro Freak. So these are all from the Micro Freak. A lot of the stuff with like MCF. Okay, this, I don't know why I called it that. The vocals to beaver teeth. It sounds a little bit like a beaver. I imagine a beaver chewing through different stuff. So yeah, those guys are cool, and when they all kind of work together. Yeah. Let me play more of these. I think, okay, that one's muted. I don't have that one in there. And I also put in my voice. It creates this like bleh thing, which is yeah, it's definitely part of the creature. So these are like kind of all the elements that are working together, and yeah, the flute's still in here, so it's actually still, it's creating this like call and response thing. So I like to use multi-band gating because it gives you control. And I think Addictive Drums actually just had an update. This is an Addictive Drum, so it doesn't matter. But Addictive Drums just had an update where you can do gating on your signals and individual drums, which is super dope. But I just do it by frequency for a lot of stuff. So we isolate these drums. The thing about it is, it can make things seem a little bit tighter, especially when you, I think it's pretty important with low end. If you're trying to have impactful hits, it's like you can play with this and then see how it works out with your bass lines. If I turn it off, okay, and the gain is off, which is kind of bad, but it seems a little quieter than it should be. Let me just do it this way. Bop, bop, bop. If you're wearing headphones, you can hear there's like there's some humming down there from some of the drums that you just avoid unnecessary low end. You get the main point across, which is the impacts, and it helps the overall mixing process. And I think probably got trash. Do I have trash? Not even. Is it just on here for show? I don't even know if this has a set percentage. It looks pretty low. Okay, so it's being automated here. So let me take a listen to that. Yeah, it does help those like snare rolls pop out a little bit. Also did some sidechaining on this track. I'm just using a pattern to trigger it, or sometimes I do it with just a straight up audio file in the playlist. But in this case, I just put it in here, just a small like kick drum, and it's being routed or sidechained into this guy. So this is actually the channel for the kick, and it's just being sidechained into this channel. So right click, say sidechain. And so when we open up Pro C, you can see it getting triggered by the kick. So every time this signal gets triggered, any signal that's being routed through here, you can see there's various stuff going through here, mostly like the bass lines, the atmospheres, and things like that. They're going through that channel, and then they get ducked as a result. And that just helps the kick and snare come through. You know, by themselves, they don't actually sound, they don't sound like a super heavy drum just alone, but with the side chaining, it creates at least the illusion of impact. So Pro C is really nice. I feel like you have some nice control. You can do this with also with, oh man, why can't I think of that? It's I must have it in here. Fruity Peak controller. That's right. I used to do it with that. I just think there's maybe a little bit more control. What I like is you can actually, there's a built-in EQ for this kind of, when you do it with Pro C. So I can say, well, I don't want you to like didn't really do it that much in this case, but it kind of ducks off the low end so that side chain doesn't hang around as much. In other words, you have a little bit more granular control over whatever your triggering source is. So I like that. The hold is cool. The amount of side chaining, the visual thing about it, it's just a nice. I just enjoy using it a little bit more. This atmosphere came from a completely different project, but it's still part of the MCF. But it's part of the Microfreak. Yeah, super creepy thing. This I could do a whole series just, I feel like, on the Microfreak. You can do so much with it. So there's different types of synth modes on here, such as FM. FM is what I use. FM synthesis is what I used. It's a 2 oscillator thing. I used it for this. You can create those kind of weird, like kind of ringing tone that's in there. You can create stuff like that with the FM style synth. And the wavetable synth, if I remember right, it's probably how I made this guy. So yeah, that's kind of the whole track, because you can see those are like all of the individual elements. It's another Microfreak sound from a different project that worked out. I shouldn't forget about the Syntakt. That's actually something that's involved with this project as well. So that's this guy. It's a drum machine, and I've been able to make some pretty sweet loops with it. Mostly because it's fun. It's just fun to play with this. You open this up, and there's actually overbridge software, it's called. And I don't have it open in this project, but I can open it to show you guys. So you go here. I'm gonna just flip this guy on so you can see how this works. But it provides, overbridge. It provides a bridge to your DAW. So basically, you're able to. You can hear it coming in now. It comes out a little bit quiet, but you can just adjust it. It's a very clean signal because it's all. I must have already had one open. Okay, number 2 sitting there. Check this out here. There it is. It's up here. Must already be going into. There. Let's just move it over here. So I typically just have one of these KHS gains sitting here. You can adjust this. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff you can do with this. And you can just bring it straight into MIDI too, so it's not too bad. So you can just run down here, and all the drums. So I basically put all my drum loops down like you would with a normal drum kit and process it. Got some stuff like that kind of flying around. Like flying around textures and spaces. So yeah, this just helps me get out of the DAW. I don't like looking at the screen all the time or doing all my drum stuff in there. It's like a really physical, tactile experience playing with this thing. And the little modulators, you can't really see them too well right now, but you know, they're just fun to look at. I can only recommend it. I will say the software is a little bit unreliable. Like sometimes it just crashes, like the Syntakt stuff. The Overbridge plugin creates problems sometimes. It seems to be a little bit more reliable in Bitwig for whatever reason. But I'm more well-versed with FL right now. But yeah, those are most of the elements. So come over here. guys, well, that's a wrap. Thanks for checking out this track breakdown of Spoon Melter. Also want to give a shout out to the guys over at Upscale. They help bring this track out to the world. So be sure to give them a follow. I put their link in the description, and stay tuned for the Upscale compilation coming out next year. And finally, shout out to O Prime Delta. He's the guy who made the artwork for this track. On top of making artwork like you see in Spoon Melter, he also creates his own music. So be sure to give him a follow. And yeah, guys, got a lot of new music on the way, so be sure to stay tuned. And until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.